Hello everyone. This is just a quick little video to show you a couple of things that were kind of missed or could be done maybe a bit better. I've made some comments about a lot of this to many teams, so I thought I'd just show you what I really wanted to do, so what I would like you to do, sorry. So I talked about this first one in class. So this is just using an old submission that I got a long time ago from a different team in a different year. So you'll see that it's, in this case, 80-20. And they've written 80, they've written 20, and then they've multiplied these two by these cells, which is perfectly fine. Notice that both of them are multiplying it by C14, so we should probably make C14 an absolute reference. But all that aside, so you've got 80% written and you've got 20% written. So what I was trying to explain in class was that we should be able to make it so we only type in this cell and then this cell should automatically change. So I'll show you over here how to do that. So let's say I'll just do it on top. Let's say I want this cell to change anytime this one changes. Well, really all I want is for this to become the difference between this number and 100%, because these two should add up to 100%, right? So there's two ways of doing that. We could either write equals 100% minus, and then click on the cell and press enter. Okay, so you see how automatically it becomes 20%. So now if I type in 65, it changes to 35 here, but then also my capital structure in dollar value changes as well. Let's get rid of these decimal places. So that's one way. The other way I mentioned in class is just simply equals 1 minus. 1 is the same thing as 100%, right? And then you click on that cell, and there you go. So now if I wanted to go back to 80-20, I click on 80 here, and it changes that to 20. And because we've linked everything properly, we should then be able to go to our following sheets, our loan, our 10-year pro forma, and if everything is linked, anytime I change this, so let's say in our case, we're about to change to 70-30, you should be able to go 70 here, it changes this to 30 automatically, and everything else should change. Okay, so that was one thing that I pointed out in quite a few sheets. The other thing is that a lot of us I think just went, okay, Control C, Control V. There's a much easier way to do this. So let's say all of a sudden something changes, and I decide that I want to change the percentage, but I want to change it for all years. By doing just the Control C and then Control V, so copy and paste, we'd have to go through every single one again. There's a much easier way of doing that. So really all we can do, so you see how this team back in the past, they didn't do it either. Okay? So if we just write equals in year 2 and just click on D12, okay? Anything that's in D12 is now going to pop up in F12, and we just press OK. To make it even easier, we can absolute reference this. Okay, and now, actually, sorry, we won't do that. We could, so that then, sorry, all we have to do now is just Control V, pardon me, Control C, and then copy it over like this. Okay, that would actually probably be the longest way. But now if I would change this to, let's say, 80%, you'll see that all of them change to 80%. Okay. Now the only thing is, this would just take a long time. So instead what we can do, we can just go equal in year 2, click on year 1, okay, and press enter. And then we can just do our fill function. Okay. See how nothing's changed, but really now it's cell referencing year 1. Now if I were to copy this, go Control C this entire area, and go over here and go Control V, Control V, keep on just pasting it. We're essentially doing the same thing that you've all done. However, now, if this needs to change to 80%, okay, this is copying over whatever's in D12. H12 is copying whatever's in F12, which is actually copying whatever's in D12. And if you keep on going back, year 10 is copying over year 9, which is really showing you what's in year 8, which is really showing, and you see how it just all trickles down. So now we have an approach that's cell reference. This whole pro forma income statement is cell referenced so that if any changes were to ever be made in the first year, then we can just change it for the entire sheet. It'll help us out. It'll make us be more efficient, essentially. So if I commented on the fact that all of these common size percentages, and even if I missed it, if these common size percentages are not linked to the previous years, you should go back and do that. That way, if there were any adjustments that need to be made, you just do them in year one. You don't have to keep on going, okay, year one, I accidentally put 3.2. Oh, I did it here, I did it here, I did it here. Instead, you just change year one and everything else. It's just a domino effect. It just happens right after naturally. Okay. So that's the power of cell referencing. So if you have any questions, please let me know.